Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Overflow. In this video, we'll discuss to this LeetCode problem that is the first unique character in a string. So this is an easy type problem, and we'll understand how we can solve a question like this and how we should go ahead when solving a question like this. Though it's an easy type question, but there is something you should learn from this question as well. So before moving on, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure to subscribe to this channel for regular LeetCode videos like this. Let's see what the question says. The question says we are given a string s, so that's the string s given to us, and we need to find the first non-repeating character in it. Okay, the first non-repeating character, that means the character that is like the first character from the left, that is non-repeating, like that is not repeating in the whole string, and ultimately we should return its index. Okay, now further it says, like, if it does not exist, return -1. Okay, so if is it like we couldn't find that index, or we couldn't find a number like that, so we should return -1 in that case. Okay, so let's understand an example. Example says there's a s given to us, that is a LeetCode, and in that s we are returning 0 0. So is we are not returning -1, therefore we have an answer to it, right? What's the answer? 0 with index is l. See, l is the only letter that is not repeating, like it is the first letter that is not repeating in the whole array, so like whole string, so we are just returning that is the its index. Okay, so that's the uh, uh, idea. Now in the second example, we'll learn further. Say we are it's the string given as love LeetCode. Fine. Now see, l is repeating in this case. Fine. Now what is that word that is not repeating? The next letter, next character is o is repeating over here. Fine. The next character is v. See, v is not repeating in our whole string, so we are returning its character, or its index. Okay, now in the third answer we find it's -1, since both a and bb are repeating by itself. Okay, now understand this concept, like the what comes in mind is, like, take the first like as a brute force method, take the first character and then see if it's repeating anywhere or not. Would, like, go through the whole string and check if it is there anywhere or not. If it is there, then move to the next character and keep on checking. Like, is this a feasible method? Why I'm saying so? Look at the example number 2. You find o as a second character. You checked for o in the whole string, and you find that o is present at the towards the end. Okay, let's not suppose that this string is so small. It may happen that the string length is 10 to the power 5, so you can understand that the string may be a huge string. So think of the complexity it can rise to. Okay, so we need to think of something else. We cannot go ahead with that brute force method where we are, like, finding, like, taking each of the characters from the starting and then finding out if there is any repetition of that word or not. If the repetition is not there, we're simply returning the word. So that's not an possible way. So is there other way we can reduce the complexity? Obviously. So what can it be? Now look at it in this way. If we like, if you remember in the, like, the string class have a function of itself, that is the index of. So that string class have an index of function. That index of function returns the particular index of our, like, of a character. So what we can do as a little bit modification, we can like, we can directly uh, take the, like, the character. Okay, then say index of the character in the rest of the list. Okay, like index of the character in the rest of the string. So if there is not any index, then we can say okay, that's the minimum index, and if there is an index, then we can say no, it's well, next move on to the next character. So that may happen, but what can be other ways? Because if we go ahead with the index of again and again, we need to do a kind of like the, like, you are going ahead with a single string and then finding its index in the rest of the uh, in the rest of the uh, part. So it may happen that your first unique string lies at the very end. Fine. At the very end, say there's an unique string. So you just kept on doing index and index up to the whole array or to the whole string to find out, okay, which one is the uh, unique. And in that case, you also keep on repeating with those repeating characters. Say there's e being repeated like 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. So you went ahead with checking e for the all the 4 times. It may happen for you. So and the other way, let's think of it in a different way. What can it be? If we keep checking for A till Z, like all the 26 alphabets, okay? Now, it is given that S contains only in lowercase English alphabet. So we can keep checking from small a to small z. Fine. So, if we keep checking for small a to small z, and if we find the index of each of the characters, so you may say these indexes are not present. Say in the first example, index of a is not present. So the index of function of string handles it in a matter that if the index is not present, it returns us -1. So once it returns us -1, then there's no use moving ahead with that. Fine, we'll go with the next character. So in this case, what happens, we are given only 26 characters. So our complexity is like we are traversing through these 26 characters only. Now the complexity comes down to order of 26. Fine. Let's see what else, how we are going through it. We took each of the character and then find the index of that particular character. Fine. Now, in that further, what we will do, we will say in the index of function. If you remember, the index of function has a function overloading. That is, index of that particular char. Okay, that's possible, or the index of that particular char, comma int is there. Okay, what is this int as overloading given? This is like for the rest of the string, you can say the our current index that we found in our first index of, okay, and then we are finding out index of our current index plus one, that is the rest of the string. Say what I mean, say we have lead code over here. Fine. So let me just erase this and say we have this kind of string lead code over here. In that, we found that L, we first okay, we traversed through this a till z, and in the meantime we found L. Fine. Let's say we will first find E that is there in the string. Okay, so we will first find E. I'm not taking C. I will come up to this later. So let's say we find E. So we find E at index 1. Fine. Now we'll do index of index 1 till 0. So what will happen? It will check for the rest of the string for index of E, and it is index of returns to the minimum index. Fine. It will not go ahead with the next index. So if we find another index of that particular string in our list, in our string, then we will not move ahead. Rather, if we do not find the string, we will find its index. Okay, now we will save its index, and now we'll keep checking for the minimum index. Minimum index in the sense, we'll keep checking for cases where C and E both are there. Okay, like what I mean, C and L. See, we'll go at we are going from A to Z. Then we find out like the character C. Going from A to Z, we find C first. Now, what C gives us? C gives us a index of 4. Okay, so C gives an index of 4. Now we need to check if there are other characters in our A to Z which are having a lower starting index. Okay, C gives a unique index. Fine, it's a unique character. We come up to that. So we'll keep checking for that. So that's how we will find a solution. So let me just quickly write this code, and then you can visualize it more better. So let me quickly write this code. So here you see that this is an 1ms solution, and this works pretty good for us. Now let's go ahead with the understanding of what we did with our question. So over here, we just went ahead with first we took the minimum index being our string length being the length after this. So string length count is like the number of strings we have. So it returns us 8. Okay, so the first one is just 8. So that's we took a main length. But remember, the index of 8 doesn't exist. Index still 7 exists. Fine. So we took main index being the last unit. Why is it so? We want to check like whether it lies or not. If it doesn't lie, if there isn't any a non-repeating character, then we need to return -1, right? So that's the idea behind that. Now we went ahead with a for loop of a character a to character z. Okay, each of the characters. So that's a for loop. And what we did, we simply took our index, and variable index. So in that we took the index of character c. This particular character we are checking ahead. Okay. Now look at the idea. The idea is the index is like s dot index of c. So it returns us the first index is comes across. If it does not find an index, so it will return us -1. Fine. So uh, in a further step, we are checking for that only. Like we are checking if index is -1. So we are checking index should not be -1. If index is -1, that means there isn't any further there isn't any single appearance of that character in the whole string as well. So we are checking the index should not be -1. That is, index is some value other than -1. Like with the particular character is there. Further, we're checking index of C. C, I mean this particular character we are in the loop with index +1. When you're doing index +1, index is storing its first appearance. Now, when you're doing index +1, then how this function works, this actually returns as a string or returns as an index which is after the given starting index. Okay, this is a starting index. So from this starting index to the end, it will find if there are other appearance or not. So that other appearance should be -1. Why is it so? Because if from our current index till the end, then there are other appearance, that means the character is repeating, but we want non-repeating character. So that's why we are checking that it should be -1. Okay, so does it solves our problem of repeating characters? We now have only non-repeating characters. So if that all this holds, then we are checking for the min index. Min index is basically index, like minimum of index and min index. Now, whatever comes first, so we are just checking for those. Okay, and after this whole loop of order of 26, this is what order of 26, and after this whole loop we check if the min index is s dot length. That what does that mean? If min index is s dot length, means it is already like we couldn't find any non-repeating character. But if we have find, then this if statement won't state void, then we simply return the main index, whatever we found, and that's our answer. And that's how you saw it's a 1 millisecond solution with like faster than everything. So that's the idea. There's a whole idea behind this particular question, and this is an easy level question. I hope you can understand this question pretty well, and from my explanation. If you haven't, make sure to comment down. I'll be happy to help you out with this as well. So thank you all for watching this video. Hope to see you soon in my next video as well. Thank you.